everyone, welcome back to Pabbly. In this video, we are going to learn how to enroll Thinkific user on Typeform submission. So I am an owner of an EdTech company, and using Typeform, I have created a form. With the help of it, I am collecting my students' registration who are interested in the different online courses that I'm selling. And using Thinkific, I manage all the courses and I manage my students' data. Here what I want is that as soon as by the student, a new form submission is going to be done using Typeform. I want to enroll that student who have done the form submission in my Thinkific account in the course that they have selected. Now doing this manually is very time consuming. So what I've done is I've simply automated this entire process with the help of Pabbly Connect, which is an amazing automation and integration software. And here in this automation, I'm going to build the connection between Typeform and Thinkific with the help of it. So if you also want to learn about this amazing automation process step by step, for that let me take you to my screen. In this video, we're going to learn how to enroll Thinkific user on Typeform submission. So as an owner of an EdTech company, I use Typeform to collect students' registration for my online courses that I sell. And I use Thinkific to manage all the online courses that I create and my students' data. To streamline the enrollment process, I have set up an automation that instantly enrolls the student who have done the form submission using Typeform automatically in my Thinkific account. This ensures an hassle-free onboarding experience, eliminates manual data entry, and allows students to start learning without delay. And I'm going to create this amazing automation between Typeform and Thinkific with the help of Pabbly Connect. So on the screen, you can see the website of Pabbly Connect, that is pabbly.com/connect. After browsing this website, we need to sign into our Pabbly Connect account. But if you're a new user, you can sign up for free and get 100 free tasks every month. So as I'm an existing user, I'm going to sign into my Pabbly Connect account. After signing in, you can see the All Pabbly Apps window in front of you, in which you can see all the products that Pabbly provides, from which we are going to select Pabbly Connect by clicking on this Access Now button right here. Then Pabbly Connect's dashboard is going to appear in front of you. In order to start an automation process in Pabbly Connect, we need to create a workflow. For that, click on this top right corner button right here that says Create Workflow. A dialog box is then going to appear in front of you, which is asking for the workflow name and for us to select a folder. So for the name of my workflow over here, I'm going to give it as Enroll Thinkific User on Typeform Submission. So this is the name that I want to give to my workflow, okay? After that, it is asking for us to select a folder. So on the left side of my screen, you can see I have created multiple folders in my Pabbly Connect account, from which I'm going to select a specific folder in which I want to save this workflow in. For that, click on this drop down. These are the folders from which I'm going to select Typeform Automations as the folder I want to save this workflow in. After giving the name to the workflow and selecting the folder, I'm going to click on this Create button in order to create a workflow. A workflow is created in the name of Enroll Thinkific User on Typeform Submissions, and you can see there are two windows in front of you. One says Trigger, other says Action. So what is Trigger and Action? Trigger and action are the two most important steps of our automation process because our process depends on these two concepts. Over here, trigger says when this happens and action says do this. That means what is action? Action is a response towards our trigger. In an automation process, there can be only one trigger step but multiple action steps. We are going to set up our trigger step first. And for the trigger application over here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select it as Typeform. As with the help of Typeform, I have created a form with the help of which I am collecting my students' registrations for the online courses that I sell. I want that as soon as by the student, a form submission is going to be done with the help of the form that I have created using Typeform. Automatically, the trigger in my Pabbly Connect workflow should capture the response of that. Now, for doing that, I've selected my trigger application as Typeform, and for the trigger event, I'm going to select as New Entry. After selecting the trigger application and the event, I'm going to click on this Connect button right here. A window is going to appear in front of you, on which click on Add New Connection, or else you can select the existing connection that you have. After that, over here it says Connect with Typeform. I'm going to click on this button right here. As I've done that, a window is then going to appear in front of you, which is asking for a permission. So I'm going to click on this Accept button. As this is a saved process and my data is perfectly saved with Pabbly Connect, so I'm going to click on this Accept button right here. As I've done that, you can see we have successfully authorized Typeform to Pabbly Connect. After authorizing, it is asking for us to select a form. So in my Typeform account, if I'm going to go to my workspace right over here, you can see that I have created multiple different forms in my Typeform account. I want that whenever the form submission of this specific form is going to be done using Typeform, then only Pabbly Connect should capture the response of that. So for that, we have to select the form from the drop down right here. So I've created a form in the name of student registration form. So I'm going to select the form right over here from the drop down. Okay. After selecting the form, click on the Save and Send Test Request button right here. As you're going to do that, it is saying waiting for response. So now to check whether Typeform is successfully connected to Pabbly Connect or not, what we are going to do is we are going to do a test submission of the form that we have created using Typeform. And after doing the test submission, we're going to check whether Pabbly Connect captures the response of the test submission being done or not. Okay. So for that, I'm going to open the form. This is the form right over here. To do the test submission from this panel, go to Share option right here. After coming to the share screen, copy this link from here and open this form link in a new tab right here. And as I've done that, this is the form that I've created and I'm going to do the test submission of this form. Firstly, it is asking for the student's first name. So for the first name over here, I'm going to write it as Smart. For the last name over here, I'm going to write it as Student1. For the phone number over here, I'm going to write in a dummy mobile number right here. And for the email over here, I'm going to write it as smartstudent1@pabblytudes.com. After filling in all the required details, I'm going to click on this submit button right here. It says thank you for registering. As now the form submission is done successfully, I'm going to go back to my workflow and scroll down. And yes, you can see right over here, the response of the form submission has been captured. We have the response date and time, the submission date and time right over here. If I'm going to scroll down over here, email comes as smartstudent1@pabblytudes.com with a dummy mobile number. Over here, this is the first name, that is Smart, last name, that is Student1 with all the other details. As now the response of the form submission has been captured over here in our trigger, this means that Typeform has now been successfully connected to Pabbly Connect and our trigger setup is done. After setting up our trigger step, we need to set up our action step. And here my objective is that as soon as by the student a form submission is going to be done using Typeform, I want to enroll that student in my Thinkific account in the course that I have created. So in my Thinkific account, I have created a course in the name of PHP and I want to enroll the student in this course right over here. Okay. So for enrolling the student, we have to first create that student as a user in our Thinkific account. And after creating that student as a user, we are then going to enroll that created user in our course that we have created. Now for that, we're going to set up our action step. And for the action application over here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select it as Thinkific. And for the action event, I'm going to select as create user. And then I'm going to click on this connect button. A window is going to appear in front of you on which click on add new connection, or else you can select the existing connection that you have. After that, click on connect with Thinkific. A dialog box is then going to appear in front of you which is asking for the subdomain. Now to enter the subdomain in the URL of your Thinkific account between https and .thinkific.com, this is going to be the subdomain. So I'm going to open my Thinkific account right here. This is my account, and in this URL, between the https and .thinkific.com, this is the subdomain. So I'm going to copy it from here and paste it over here in this field of subdomain and click on the save button right here. As I've done that, you can see I've successfully authorized Thinkific to Pabbly Connect. After authorizing, it is asking for all these details with the help of which we are going to create a user in our Thinkific account. Now for the data of these fields, what we are going to do is we are going to map the data. What is mapping? Mapping means inserting data from the previous step. So we're going to insert the data from the previous step of this workflow. And how mapping works is that as soon as I'm going to click on this field, this was the previous step. As I'm going to click on it, you can see this is the same response from our previous step of the form submission. In this response, I have received my student's data. You can see right over here, and I want to create this student as a user in my Thinkific account. It is asking for the user's first name, as I want to create this student as a user in my Thinkific account. So for the data of the first name field, I'm going to select the data from my previous response. As I have now selected the data from my previous response, the data is mapped. And as I have mapped the data has now become dynamic. That means now whenever now a new response is going to be captured in our previous step, automatically the new data is going to be updated in place of this mapped data. Okay. After that, over here it is asking for the last name. So I'm going to map the data of the last name right over here. I'm going to map the data right here. Okay. Next, it is asking for the email. So for the email, I'm going to search for the email. I'm going to map the data. After that, it is asking for the password. So for the password over here, what I want is, I want over here the first name of my student, last name of my student. I want to enter underscore 123. Okay. So this is the password that I want. After that, it is asking for all these details, which I do not have. So I'm going to skip the part. And for the send welcome email, I'm going to select it as true right over here. Okay. After that, I'm going to click on this save and send test request button right here. As I've done that, we have received a response in which we have received the ID, which is a positive response. So this tells that a user has now been created in our Thinkific account. To check whether it's not created, I'm going to log into my Thinkific account. After coming to my account, from the left side of the panel, go to the users and all users section right here. After coming to all users section, you can see over here a new student has been created in my Thinkific account in the name of Smart Student 1. You can see right here. Okay. As now over here the user is created, I want to enroll this user in the course that I've created. I'm going to open the courses that I've created in my Thinkific account. I want to enroll the student in this course in the name of PHP right here. Now for doing that, what we are going to do is we are going to add another action step to this workflow. And for the action application over here, I'm going to again select it as Thinkific. And for the action event, I'm going to select it as enroll user. Okay. Then I'm going to click on this connect button. A window is going to appear in front of you on which I'm going to select the existing connection. But if you want, you can add a new connection. Then I'm going to click on the save button right here. After saving, you can see Thinkific is connected. It is asking for us to select a course. So for the course, I've already told you, I've created a course in the name of PHP. So for the course over here, I'm going to select it as PHP right here from the drop down. Next, it is asking for the user ID. Select or map the user ID to enroll into the course. So I've created this user and we have received the user ID in the response. So what I'm going to do is, in place of this user ID, I'm going to toggle this map button on right here, erase the existing data from here and map the data of this ID that I've received while creating the user right here. Okay. After that, it is asking for the activate date and the expiry date, which I do not have. So I'm going to skip the part. And then simply I'm going to click on this save and send test request button right here. As I've done that, we have received another ID, which is a positive response. So now I'm going to open my Thinkific account. I'm going to go back to my users section and all users section right here. I'm going to open the user that I've recently created, and now in enrollments you can see over here this user that was in the name of Smart Student 1 is now been enrolled to this course in the name of PHP. Okay. As now the enrollment of the student who have done the form submission using Typeform has been done in our Thinkific account. This means that we have successfully created an automation between Typeform and Thinkific with the help of Pabbly Connect. So now to sum up till now what we have done, I am an owner of an EdTech company and using Typeform I have created a form with the help of which I am collecting my students' registrations for the online courses that I'm selling. Over here for the trigger, I've selected as Typeform new entry, as whenever by the student a form submission is going to be done, trigger is going to capture the response of the student's details. Okay, and with the help of the student's details, firstly that student is going to be created as a user in my Thinkific account, and after creating the user, I'm going to enroll that same user to the course that I've created in my Thinkific account with this step. And with Pabbly Connect, I have built the connection between these two applications in this manner. So this was it for this video. Thank you so much for watching.
Not just with these applications, you can create automation between multiple other applications with the help of Pabbly Connect. If you have any questions, you can contact us on support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can check the queries on forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issues, then you can check out this link. If you like this video, please do subscribe to our channel, hit on the like button, comment on if you have any questions or doubts, and please share this video.